Right now at 6, let the legal battles begin, with Oregon and Washington already leading the charge against some of the president's executive actions. Plus,
it's as if the attempted coup essentially did not happen.
How some say a get-out-of-jail-free card for January 6th rioters comes with a heavy price.
It is a grave step away from democracy.
Then, Oregon lawmakers back in session in Salem.
We're here for our lives and do the great work that is expected from Oregonians.
A look at their top priorities from housing to transportation. And later,
the kids in this school have really impressed me.
Local students stepping up to help people devastated by the California wildfires.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Mulco. We begin tonight with pushback already underway when it comes to one of President Trump's first executive actions, with Oregon and Washington now leading the lawsuit challenging his order that takes on birthright citizenship.
Libby Dowsett is live at Portland City Hall with us for this evening. She has a look at how city and state leaders are responding to the president's immigration plan. Libby.
Well, today the mayor sent a letter to city council members urging support for undocumented residents. And Oregon and Washington's attorney generals filed a multi-state lawsuit to support citizenship for children born to parents without legal status. Mayor Keith Wilson issued a letter to the city council with concerns about the Trump administration's immigration enforcement plans and the state's status as a sanctuary state. The mayor wrote that local leaders are committed to treating everyone fairly, no matter their immigration status. Mayor Wilson wrote, quote, "The Sanctuary Promise Act mandates that local law enforcement document any federal demands for immigration enforcement and ensures our state laws are followed." Meantime, Oregon's Attorney General Dan Rayfield joined Washington's Attorney General Nick Brown in filing a multi-state lawsuit challenging the president's executive order to end automatic citizenship of children born in the U.S. to parents without legal status. Rayfield issuing a statement that said, in part, quote, "If allowed to stand, this order would break decades of established law that has helped keep kids healthy and safe." KGW reached out to Oregon Republican Congressman Cliff Bentz for his take on the multi-state lawsuit regarding children's rights to citizenship.
The Constitution is pretty clear that if you're born in the United States, you're a citizen. So I think it may be an uphill battle for the president to have his order stick. Indeed, the Supreme Court will make the decision.
Congressman Bentz went on to say he believes the concept is being abused, with people crossing the border just to have children with legal papers. The congressman said when it comes to allowing immigrants to continue to work in agriculture, manufacturing, and construction jobs,
if we're going to have them here legally, it's got to be done in a way that acknowledges that they're immigrants.
The executive orders concerning immigration getting a strong reaction from Oregon's Farm Workers Union and its executive director, Reina Lopez.
We stand with immigrant Oregonians to reject these measures and to really make sure that our communities are not divided and that our families stay together, because we know that any mass deportation attack would really devastate Oregon, including its citizens, our local institutions, and our local economy.
And the congressman had a reaction to the mayor's letter to city council members saying sanctuary cities are breaking the law and they're not going to work under this administration. He said leaders should reach out to lawmakers like him for a compromise. Christine, David.
Much more to come on this issue. Libby Dowsett from Portland City Hall. Thank you, Libby. Meantime, people convicted in the January 6th insurrection are being released from prisons around the country after President Trump pardoned them. Some of those people are from Oregon and Washington.
Investigative reporter Kyle Aboshi has been following those cases closely and is in the newsroom with the update for us. Kyle?
And all more than a dozen people from Oregon and Southwest Washington were pardoned by President Trump for their role in the January 6th riot. For some, that was a get-out-of-jail-free card. They were released from federal custody in less than 24 hours.
Reed Christensen
serving a 46-month sentence for his role in the January 6th riot, walked out of an Arkansas prison early Tuesday morning, according to his lawyer. The Hillsboro, Oregon man's release from federal custody came less than 24 hours after President Donald Trump granted clemency to roughly 1,600 people charged in connection with the attack on the Capitol. Christensen thanked President Trump as a politician who keeps his word. Also released, Benjamin Silva of Yacolt, Washington. He'd been serving a 4-month sentence in federal prison in California. Prosecutors claim Silva was part of a group of rioters who participated in a heave-ho push against a line of police inside a tunnel entrance to the Capitol building. Several other January 6th defendants from Oregon will avoid prison time thanks to President Trump's pardons. Last week, a federal judge sentenced Andy Stephen Oliva Lopez of Milwaukee to 51 months. And a pair of brothers, Jonathan Peter and Matthew Klein, were supposed to serve prison time for their role in the insurrection. Those sentences will now be erased, along with others.
As a legal and criminal matter, it's as if the attempted coup essentially did not happen.
Former U.S. Attorney for Oregon, Dwight Holton.
Rule of law is really important. And the notion that one person, that one political leader could come and choose who to pardon based on whether or not they support him is a grave step away from democracy.
The president's pardon stopped one case dead in its tracks. Today, a federal jury in Washington, D.C. was set to begin deliberations in the trial of a Bend man charged for his role in the January 6th riot. Instead, both sides moved to dismiss the case because of President Trump's executive order.
Thanks, Kyle. I really appreciate your work on this over the last 4 years. Thanks.
To some of your other headlines tonight, a crash caused a lengthy closure on Highway 224 today. This morning, it closed the road in both directions for a roughly mile-long stretch near Damascus. It reopened later in the afternoon. No word yet on what caused the crash or if anyone was hurt.
Oregon health and safety officials are fining Cirque du Soleil over an incident at a Portland performance. In August, an aerial artist fell about 15 feet from a hoop to the stage with no safety net or mat underneath. This was under the big top outside the Portland Expo Center. The artist was injured and hospitalized. OSHA is fining Cirque du Soleil about $8,000.
And a potentially dangerous gas leak in southeast Portland was caught just in time. It happened today after city workers hit a gas line near Southeast 17th and Sherritt, close to the Selwood Senior Living Center. Northwest Natural was able to slow the flow of gas from a valve as firefighters monitored the area for possible danger. People were asked to stay inside and no evacuation was necessary.
And flight attendants at Horizon Air are filing for federal mediation amidst a contract dispute. Horizon, a subsidiary of Alaska, though Horizon flight attendants say they make significantly less than their Alaska counterparts. They're now pushing for better pay and working conditions. The National Mediation Board will now oversee negotiations, assign a federal mediator, and schedule mediation sessions. Matt?
All right, David, thanks very much. It was another beautiful sunny day around the Northwest, and the clear sky continues. There's Newport for you right now. 43 degrees, but we had 50s on the coast. We had 50s on the east side. The cold mornings will continue. The afternoons, though, will be sunny and mild, back to the upper 40s and near 50 as the big dry, as I'm calling it, continues. There's really no precipitation coming our way. One possible exception, and if it happens at all, it's going to be minor. It will be late Thursday night, Friday morning. We could see some drizzle in the valleys, maybe an inch or two of snow in the Cascades, but that's it. Now, outside of the Portland area, there's a cold weather advisory for the surrounding area because morning lows will be dropping into the low 20s, kind of like they did today. But otherwise, it's more of the same. Guys?
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Matt.
To a live look now at the state capitol in Salem, where lawmakers are back at work and wrapping up day one of the long session with a long list of priorities.
Tim Gordon is live there for us tonight. And Tim, on this first day, lots of big issues on the table for legislators.
Yeah, certainly so, Christine and David, as you mentioned, it is a long session, day one of it, so we've got a long way to go, up to 160 days. And there are a lot of important issues that lawmakers are tackling here at the Capitol building. Now, day one really was just about getting started. The sessions in both chambers lasted all of about 30 minutes, so really quick, as they took care of some formalities today. Both House and Senate were gavelled in to hear about the first batch of bills more than 2,000 expected, most of which won't be passed, of course. But Democrats say there will be a focus on prosperity for all Oregonians, better jobs and more housing there. Also, safer and healthier communities and protecting freedoms of all Oregonians. There are some big ticket issues like a potential transportation package. Legislators will have to figure it out in light of Governor Kotek's not putting more than really the basic minimum of $1.7 billion in her budget proposal for ODOT for the next 2 years. But anything more will be scrutinized.
We have to look to see if priorities are being met, if the top things that we're looking at, are they plowing the snow off the roads? Are they making sure that the roads are in top quality? Are the bridges safe?
People are really struggling in Oregon, and we make a lot of progress, but we need to continue to stay on the course and ensuring that we take care of the business of Oregonians and expect us to take care of it.
Democrats with a supermajority will be able to get a lot done on their own, and there are some divisive issues that get a lot of attention. But there's an expectation to start that both sides of the aisle work together, and they really do. I mean, we talk about some of the ones where they don't get along, but 90% of the bills that pass are bipartisan, so that's important to remember. Again, just day one, they'll be going till June 29th, unless they finish early, and I would not bank on that. David, Christine, back to you.
Appreciate your perspective and reporting live from Salem. Thank you so much, Tim. In Washington's legislature, state Democrats are pushing for new gun-related laws and held public hearings for several hours today. Some of the ideas include requiring permits to buy guns, limits on the number of gun and ammo sales per month for a specific buyer, and regulations on storing guns. One bill would require them to be kept unloaded and locked up in homes and cars. A woman whose teenage brother shot her with a loaded gun he found at their home when she was just 8 years old testified.
My brother did not intend to hurt me that day. That shooting happened because my parents believed the lie that training, rules, and punishment would keep us safe.
Opponents of the proposals include a lobbyist from the NRA who argue lawmakers are vilifying guns instead of holding people accountable. Democrats say another big task this session will be balancing the state's budget.